In this video, we're going to talk about clearing browser cache. If you're not sure what a web browser is, then please click on the link below in the description that goes to my video on what is a web browser. Now, what is browser cache? Your browser cache is a place on your computer where specific files are stored that make up the web pages that you visit. These files are images, buttons, icons, and the code for whole pages. These items are stored when you first go to a website to speed up the loading time on future visits to these sites. Why should I clear my browser cache? It forces your computer to download a fresh copy of the website once more. Depending on the issue, this can sometimes help you with issues viewing or accessing parts of a website. One of the things tech support may ask you if you ever call in for website issues is, have you cleared your browser cache? So now you should understand what they mean by browser cache. So how do I clear my browser cache? Good question. Check out the following site, www.refreshyourcache.com. I will add a link below to this website in the description. This site will list out some of the most popular web browsers and walk you through with screenshots on how to clear it. Warning: clearing out your browser cache clears out your browser history, so make sure any website you've visited recently has been saved to your bookmarks if you don't want to lose it. Note, clearing out your browser cache will not delete your bookmarks. So if you've gone a long time without clearing out your browser cache, or if you've never done it before, you're likely going to have a huge website history just sitting there. Now, if you don't want, like I said in the warning, if you don't want to lose any of those websites that you've not added to your bookmarks yet, then you need to do that before you clear your browser cache. One last thing you need to do to completely clear the browser cache is that you will have to close your browser and then reopen it back up. If you do not close the browser and open it back up, you risk the cache not being properly cleared and continuing to still have the same issues you were having before. Now, for the next part of this video, I'm going to demonstrate for you how to clear your browser cache in Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, and Microsoft Edge. As explained in a previous video, Microsoft Internet Explorer and Microsoft Edge are essentially the same piece of software. It's just that Internet Explorer has slowly transitioned into Edge. Now, as you'll see up here, there's the three dots: Customize and Control Google Chrome. If you click on that, you'll see history in the list. And then come over here, and typically you're going to see a lot of websites on this list, but mine doesn't have it because I've recently cleared the cache in this browser. Click on history. Again, you will see a huge list, and it will have it divided out by days and weeks based on how much you've used this web browser. So you'll click on Clear Browsing Data. Now here's another important screen. You will see that you have several options to delete. You have browsing history, download history, cookies and other site and plugin data, cached images and files, passwords, autofill form data, hosted app data, and media licenses. The ones that are checked by default are the ones that I usually leave checked. I rarely ever delete the history of my passwords. If you do that, just remember that you'll have to re-enter in all the passwords for your various accounts. Now, if you've been changing your passwords periodically and you don't tell it to update the password when it asks you if you want to save your password, then clearing out these passwords here with this option may be a great idea. That's totally up to you. The main things that need to be checked are browsing history, download history, cookies, and cached images and files. Now, Google Chrome has a funny little way of asking you how far back you want to go. They say since the beginning of time. So I always choose the beginning of time. So we click on Clear Browsing Data. Now, you saw for like a split second a little spinning wheel popped up. That the amount of time that will take to clear out your browsing history really just depends on how often you do it. If you've used a particular web browser for, let's say, 1 to 2 years, maybe even longer, and you've never cleared the cache before, it could take upwards to, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes. But as explained earlier in the video, it is definitely worth it. Now we'll switch to Firefox. Up here where it says Open Menu is where you want to go. And then you will see history. Now, as you'll see on here, if you've watched some of my other videos on Facebook, you will see some familiar looking links and names. So again, you just click on Clear Recent History. You will see very similar choices: browsing and download history, form and search history, cookies, cache, active logins, offline website data, and site preferences. The only important ones really are just these four right here that I have checked: browsing and download history, form and search history, cookies, cache. Again, you have a time range to clear: last hour, last 2 hours, 4 hours, today, or everything. Again, I always choose everything. I click clear now. Now see, you notice that one took a little longer because I did have some things in the history. I didn't have a whole lot because I cleared my history right before I did that video on Facebook. Now here's the last one that I mentioned I would do: Microsoft Edge. You go up here to this triple line and it says Hub, and then in parentheses, favorites, reading list, history, and downloads. So you click on it, and as you'll notice, I've already cleared the history previously on this web browser. But to do it for yourself, all you do is go to clear all history, and then you have the same similar options again. You really just want browsing history, cookies and saved website data, cache data and files, and download history. If you don't download a whole lot of stuff or anything really at all, then you don't have to have that checked. That's up to you. Now this one doesn't have an option where it asks you how far you want to go back. You're just deleting the history, period. So I'll click clear, and you'll see these little dots coming by, and it says all clear. One last thing to remember is that anytime you clear the browser cache, no matter what browser it is, you have to close the browser and then open it back up afterwards, because it may not always take when you've tried to clear the cache, meaning you may still have the same problems you were having before you cleared it. Thank you for checking out this video. If you have any questions or comments about the content of this video, please feel free to comment below. You can also go to our website, utechtraining.com, and go to our contact form to leave us questions or comments there as well. Please like our video and subscribe to our channel if you have not already, and feel free to share our videos with anyone you know who would benefit from the content presented. Thank you.